Matt, if I start with you, what's your take on this rally? I mean, clearly last week volumes are a little bit thin. Today we came off the highs, but we're finishing pretty positively.
Yeah, I mean, the volumes aren't not here really right now either. We're only seeing 2-to-1 to the upside. So this explosive rally to the upside may be nothing more than a bounce, as Mike was mentioned. So we've got to wait and see. We saw a bounce Wednesday and it sell off. So can this continue and can it be something more sustainable? There's been a lot of damage in some of these names, and we're starting to see them get a benefit of maybe seeing a bottom here, being down 20-25%.
And Abby, some of those names that have sold off so dramatically in the last couple of weeks and really last couple of months have been the FANG stocks. The fact that we've seen a lot of those trading higher today, what do you make of that?
Yeah, I mean, the NASDAQ in particular has had like its own 7 weeks of terror. As NASA might put it, and maybe you're finally finding that bottom. Who knows? But I think there are longer-term concerns. It's various types of things. I think, as your other guest just mentioned, there are plenty. I mean, there are probably more excuses than there are Star Wars spin-offs. There are a lot of reasons for the market to be expressing this kind of skittishness on these FANG stocks. It's starting with valuations in the beginning, and now potentially there's some growth. Potentially a growth scare, and of course all the regulatory background, which is not helpful at all. So I think plenty of reasons for it to have happened. With the, if you follow these stocks for a long time, the volatility can be quite tremendous, and declines of 20, 30, 40% are not unheard of every few years. So this, in a sense, is a replay of the past.
Jack, I guess there was a positive boost to risk sentiment over the weekend from the international picture, particularly from Italy. Focus now will turn to the G20 later this week. What do you think is priced in from the market on that side? Is it going to be hard for the president to sort of beat expectations in terms of what he can bring back from G20?
Well, I think, Wolf, the bar is so low that, anything is going to be better than nothing. So, the reality is that we've had so much Armageddon priced into the market over the course of the last month that, the market is now starting to realize that valuation is a question. Look, unless you think that we're going to see earnings just fall off, the side of a cliff next year, we're trading cheap. We're trading at 14, 15 times next year's forward earnings. All of that now is starting to get redigested. And quite frankly, today was the first day where the market acted a little differently. We didn't see that large strategic asset allocation, which was pressing and trying to hurt equities and buying fixed income pretty much all day long. So let's see. It might be that we have seen the bottom, at least a short-term bottom. And quite frankly, people talk about bounces. Well, they're bounces until you look in the rearview mirror and you realize that it's a bottom.
Matt, do you think a ceasefire or some sort of preliminary outline to a deal between the U.S. and China is what the market's pricing in ahead of G20?
Well, that's going to be played out as we get to Thursday and Friday and we get some more, hopefully, releases from them.
Yeah.
I mean, that's certainly going to be an overriding factor as we get to the end of the week. But we have some Fed talk this week. We're going to wait to see these retail sales. If this can be an extension, maybe we see it over a 4 or 5 week period as opposed to maybe, just 2-day period. So, that would be the thing that I think most people are going to focus in as we end the week, certainly.
Abhay, the financials having a good day today. Do you think that's the start of a more meaningful upturn for them?
It's possible. I think, the financials kind of are following the same pattern. Everyone's trying to see what's on the other side of the peak. Is it a valley or is it a cliff? And I think until the Fed gets its feet off of the neck of the market, gets the boot off the neck of the market, I don't think that it's really, I think we're going to continue to see this volatility.